The fishing news is brought to you by Interlux Marine Paint, Maxima Fishing Line, and Okuma.
Well, I'm back from a week overseas, so what did I miss? Apparently a lot of big stuff. I'm Jim Hutchinson with the New Jersey Delaware Bay edition of the Fisherman magazine, and big is definitely the thing that we're talking about in terms of the striped bass along the coast. In fact, one of the biggest stripers of the entire 2016 season along the Jersey Shore came just this past weekend on Sunday aboard the Russian Roulette out of Point Pleasant, 55.14 pounds for Stephen Moran, trolling a green number 4 Maja. As a matter of fact, it was a number 4 Chrome Maja that did the trick for Dominic Lepore here. On Wednesday morning, he took this 48.8 pound striper aboard Obsession Charters, brought it back into Lacey Marine. Again, those Maja spoons, of course, snagging, live lining, the snag and drop, but the live line and bunker continues to work as well. Dave Andrews checked in with us. He found lots of bait just the other day, not as many fish, but it didn't take much. Live line this really nice 40 pounder that was just off of Lavalette. So those bunker schools continue to lead a lot of folks to catch some big stripers along the central Jersey coast. As a matter of fact, it's from North Jersey all the way down central Jersey, and we're starting to hear about some of that action in South Jersey as well. Now, up in North Jersey along the Raritan Bay, Chris Pereira, he had lots of action, mostly smaller fish, cookie cutter, 28 to mid 30-inch range under birds. But what he found is after the birds dispersed, he was slow crawling a swim shad underneath. That's when he started catching some of those big fish. It always seems to be that way. You have those blitz conditions where you're chasing fish, you're chasing a lot of smaller fish, but those bigger fish are going to be underneath and picking up the pieces. Good time to drop those white tsunami swim shads to jig underneath. Now, Chris Nazarato of Fisherman's Den North, he said the Mojos are taking a good number of striped bass on the troll. Those Mojos, something we find out as well. If you're trolling the spoons, don't forget about trolling the stretches and those Mojos all the way down the coast into South Jersey as well. We found out from Fanatics that Jerry Coombs checked in with a 39.5 pounder over the weekend that he trolled off of Brigantine. That was on Sunday. Now, one of the coolest things you'll find in this massive fish that we have going on right now is the presence of whales. A lot of good-sized whales. They're in and out of the fleet, doing some strange things, as Al Shamshaw shared with me. He said this video was taken from off of Deal. Now, I'm not sure. It's not the first I've heard that. In fact, Scott Newhall checked in with me recently, just a couple of weeks ago, fishing off of Island Beach. He said one whale that had come up, a humpback, hit the bow of his boat, actually took some of the gel coat off of his center console. So just be mindful of that while you're fishing out there, and also while you're being awed by the presence of these whales. Now, the front beaches are giving up bass and blues north and central Jersey. As a matter of fact, it was Dennis Stepien who plugged up this 15.18 pound bluefish, a monster, in Barnegat Light, weighted in at Surf City Bait and Tackle. He took the lead in the LBI the LBI Surf Fishing Classic in the bluefish category. Some good fish are starting to get weighed in that contest. So make sure you hit those front beaches. Hearing of some good stripers being caught down in Brigantine. So hopefully those southern New Jersey beaches will get a dose of bass as well. I know the folks in Delaware continue looking out on the horizon, waiting for the arrival of striped bass. Well, let me tell you guys, those fish are coming, so hang tight. The big news this week, of course, is the opener of the Tog fishery in New Jersey. We're back up to a 6-fish bag limit here at the Jamaica 2 in Brielle. They just got in, had a couple of dozen people on the boat. Of course, you guys in Delaware, you still have your 5-fish bag limit through the end of the year as well. Haley Rodriguez, age 9, she was out getting it done on the Fishmonger this week. I'm sure we are going to see a lot more big Tog weigh-ins, especially for the Fisherman Magazine's Dreamboat contest. Now that we're back up to that bigger bag limit, folks are going to be out on these head boats looking for some big blackfish scores. You Fisherman subscribers, don't forget, we've got the multiple fish in each category this year. It's a special year with our 50th anniversary. So if you get into a dose of big blues, bring them all into weigh-in. You're out there on those wreck sites aboard these party boats, getting into the big blackfish, bring them in. Be sure to weigh them. Now, I know there's quite a few monster sea bass being weighed in as well, and a lot of big sea bass are being weighed in on these party boats, but not being brought back to score. For example, John Marincola took a recent Jamaica 2 pull, and the big Jamaica let us know this week that on one of their offshore wreck trips, they had a 7-pound sea bass that was weighed in theoretically on the boat. I say that theoretically, folks. If you're going to be catching these big humpbacks and you get a good one, you win a pull, you get a couple of good 5- and 6-pound humpback sea bass. These guys keep busy cleaning fish on the way home, but you take those big fish, put them off to the side and say, I'm going to bring it in to a registered Dreamboat weigh station. You Fisherman subscribers have a good chance to win. And so if you're hitting the head boats, don't forget that. Bring those big ones back to the registered Dreamboat tackle shops. They're listed in the magazine. Make sure you weigh in. We only have a few weeks left in that Fisherman Magazine 2006 Dreamboat contest. I'm expecting to see a couple of leadership changes in the next couple of weeks before it's done, because we've got blackfish, we've got the black sea bass, and there are some jumbo bluefish out there as well. We go to print on Monday morning with the December issue. It's the holiday gift guide. Don't forget, folks, no more weekly printed editions through the end of the year. We don't go back to the weekly print until April of 2017. So we will continue to cover reports, though. If you want those weekly reports, you're going to have to sign up for the email news alerts and go on to thefisherman.com. You subscribers, you get it all. You get the how-to. You get special video features that are locked behind password protection. Of course, when you get your username and password as a Fisherman subscriber, you also have access to those other editions as well, Long Island and New England. And I'll tell you this right now, it also makes a great holiday gift if there's somebody that you know, family, friend, who does not have a subscription to the Fisherman Magazine. Makes a great gift. Too early? I don't think so, folks. We're almost a week away before Thanksgiving, but hell, the action's still hot. I mean, it's getting cooler, but that just means it's going to be better action along the front beaches. So go out there, catch them up, and I'll see you again here next week at thefisherman.com.
The fishing news is brought to you by Intellux Marine Paint, Maxima Fishing Line, and Okuma.